And we're live. Welcome to the Writer's Life, the place where you get the sights, sounds, smells, taste of my particular writer's life, and where you get the truth about the writer's life. Don't lose your passport. Um, Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell for notifications and tap. No, fuck. Punch the like button. Tap the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on one exciting video. Boy, the government really pushed through that massive spending bill, $1.7 trillion. Anybody ever get the feeling like the present administration is going out of their way to try to bankrupt the country? I don't know. It's kind of a lot of money, right? I mean, we're already in trouble. So it looks like inflation's going to be here to stay for a while. But boy, they can get something done when they want to. And they ram this thing down everybody's throats just before the Christmas break, knowing that the House goes Republican on January 3rd. Done deal. I guess it's full of pork, and I guess it's so big that it's impossible to even read it. Like this is how, I don't know, in my opinion, how inept and corrupt our government is. Really. I mean, but I'm just a writer. So, I can make a little commentary on these things, but I don't know. I just, both sides do it too. Anyway, that's not what I'm here to talk about. Making it as a writer. 20 years ago, especially when I was in writing school, I got out of writing school in 97, and it seems like a long time ago now. All I could think of in writing school, when am I going to make it? If I make it, how hard is it going to be to make it? That kind of stuff. And then like a year after I got out of writing school, it wasn't even a year. No, it was a year. I scored a major book deal. And I thought, I've made it. But then the book didn't sell very well. And, I had another book follow up. It was a 2-book deal. And I found myself shown the door, and I couldn't get a book deal after that for years. Took years, literally, to get another book deal. And even then, it was with a small press. So I had to work my way back up again. But I had learned a really big lesson at the time, which was don't put all your eggs in one basket. And I, as a writer, I had done that because I had been freelancing and writing journalism and all this sort of stuff. And I chucked it all, just thinking that I would get a $250,000 advance like every other year, and life would be great. And I've made it, and all these movies would come out and HBO shows, and that my path was set. But it turned out I was way wrong, and that's what happens to green newbies. You just don't. You're not seasoned enough to know the business. But then I grew up and learned the business and realized what a bunch of shysters run it, and that if you really got to work for what you want, and you really have to work hard, which I did. And so then I worked my way back. Most people would have quit if they were in the position I was in back in 2002 or 3 or 4, I should say, when I was at rock bottom. And my wife at the time left me, and she was just like, "You're out," because I refused to get a real job, right? I was like, I'm a writer. I came in as a writer. I'm going to stay a writer, and I'm going to pick myself up by my bootstraps, and I'm going to make it again. And that's exactly what I did. I got the right. I was lucky enough to get the rights back to what was called As Catch Can at the time, and changed the name to The Innocent, which was its original name. And I got the rights back to Godchild, both on the Marconi PI series. And as many of you know, when The Innocent was republished, it sold 100,000 copies in a month. And the ironic thing is, I would have earned out my advance with Delacorte, So I was glad in a sense that it was kind of like a shot at them, which was great. It felt great doing that. And then that led to a major deal. like a major deal with like a 6 or 7 book deal with Thomas and Mercer and other deals, and like I was back. But because I had learned my lesson, I also continued to freelance, both journalism. This is my Bible, both journalism and freelance writing, some freelance writing. Um, you know, so that I would never be without an income stream. So then, okay, I make my living as a writer. I travel, I ski, I do whatever I want when I want to do it. I don't have a boss. I've won all the big awards, most of the big awards. I haven't won the Edgar yet, but I've won the Seamus. I've won the Thriller Award. I've been a finalist for the Derringer Award, and some other minor awards or whatever. But the only thing that I haven't quite accomplished. Oh yeah, and I've hit all the lists: New York Times bestseller, USA Today. 3 categories in New York Times, and we were on the USA Today bestseller list for like 7 weeks, and hit the overall Amazon #1 like 2 or 3 times, maybe the overall. But that was then, and this is now. So therefore, like, have I made it? For the longest time, I was telling myself, and I save a bottle of champagne over there, that I really haven't made it until I've finally sold, like a TV show to Netflix or or HBO or something like that. Like Blake Crouch has done. Like I think it's so cool. It's the only thing I haven't accomplished yet. We've come close. Mel Gibson Company, Icon Entertainment, was really interested in buying the remains, and we were like into our 3rd meeting with them, with his representative, and it looked like a contract was inevitable. And then, like, one Friday afternoon, she quit. She quit on Mel, and my project went with her. So that happens in this business a lot. Not only do editors quit, but movie people quit. And they go on to other things, and your project just dies. That's happened to me several times. So, but I am living the life, and that's where I came up with the writer's life. And so this is it. Like, I'm living the life. I'm living the dream that I set out to accomplish 20 years ago, 23, 25 years ago, whatever it was. And I'm sure, like, my dad's been going 11 years now, and there were a lot of people that, like, maybe worked for his construction company that thought, like, oh, this guy's, he's going to be working in the construction industry, at some point, like, never going to sustain himself now that his father's gone or whatever. But no, things have just gotten better, and I work harder. I've become better at what I do, writing 3,000 words a day, putting out books like crazy. Fantastic Fiction just called me one of the most prolific writers of my generation, which was cool. So yeah, this is it. Like, I no longer think a lot about the past, and I no longer think about the future very much either. I just think about the present. I just think about today, like right now, and what I'm working on right now. That's it. Does it get better than this? Maybe in certain ways, I guess, but it could be a lot worse. And because I also have my health. I know it's an old cliche, tired cliche, but you ain't got anything unless you got your health. But I also have a stellar career, so that, and I love doing what I do. I'm never going to quit. Never, one day all my friends will retire and move to Florida and golf, and I'll still be doing the same thing. All right, you guys, I hope you're having a great Christmas weekend so far, and I will come to you probably tomorrow. If I don't come to you tomorrow or Christmas Day, then I'll come to you Monday. All right. Merry Christmas, everybody. And ciao, 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 ciao.